Hello, everybody. In the Ville of Craigsville. I hope everybody's having a good Friday evening. Hello, hello, hello. Give everybody a chance to jump on here. Hello, hello. Hey, Lynn. Hey, Manna. Hey, Cheyenne. JJ. Thank you, Christina. Hey, Austin. Hey, man, you cutting yet? Hey, Lou. Hey, Amanda. Hey, Regina. First week of April. Wow. Hey, Lori. I'm starting on Monday. Looks like Monday's going to be a rain out. Hey, Larry. Not going to lie. Hey, Brenda. Normally, I try to start like this week would have been a start week. Monday's supposed to rain. Tuesday's supposed to snow. And I'll tell you guys, this is my theory. I like to cut when most everybody's is ready. If not, I'll tell you, with the price of gas this year, I'll tell you exactly my theory on this. It's just me. Most of the time, I can knock my Richwoods out in one day and my Summersville's out in one day. That leaves me Craigsville. Now, if I go before they're all ready, they'll cycle around. Hey, Chris. Hey, Brittany. Hey, Lisa. Sorry, Matt slipped up. Hey, Connie. All right. So I like to try to get mine cycled in where they're all together. Because with the price of gas, I'm 100% trying to keep my prices down. I really am. And if I have to keep going back and back and back and back, I might have to raise prices. Typically, I try not to raise a yard no more than $5. All right, that'd get me a drink there. Typically, I try not to raise any yard more than $5, right? That way it spreads out a little bit. And most of my lawn care customers have not had a raise in a couple of years. Folks, the price of gas is going to do this. I'm not even going to lie. I'm not even going to lie. My mower right now, I think I told you guys, last year it would take, let me work this out, 209 would be 29, it would run me right at $21 to fill my mower up last year, right? This year, it's going to run me almost $40 to fill a friggin' lawnmower up. And we'll get on to the main topic here in just a second. But this year it's going to run me $40 to $41 to fill my lawnmower up with gas. And I'm gonna pull in here, and you know, same with my truck. It's running me $90 some to fill my truck up with gas. $90 some, right? So this running around a lot, like me and Noah do, is going to end up being y'all going to see Walgreens a lot, you know, or wherever I can find parking like this. But anyways, I'm 100% trying to keep my costs down, and one of the ways I'm going to keep my costs down is try to make sure that I'm not wasting trips, right? By wasting trips, I mean headed into certain areas 2 and 3 times. I'll go to Richwood once, I'll go to Summersville once, and I'll visit Craigsville, you know, several times, only because it's close, right? So Craigsville, Beaver, like Tioga, you know, Camden, those areas I only want to visit. You know, if I'm going to have to visit or go out multiple days, that's the same with taking on new yards. I'm not taking new yards on in Summersville. I'm not taking new yards on, you know, in different places like that, because I'm going to have to raise the prices, and they're not going to like, you know, I'd rather just not do that. I'm just going to go right there. So that's why I try to not go a bunch of places and keep going. When I very first started, I'd go to Richwood 2 or 3 times, go to Summersville 2 or 3 times, and I started honing my routes. All right, you guys don't want to hear about grass cutting, but that's my theory. So by next week, everybody's going to be ready. They're not going to be like, well, can we hold off one more week? And then it throws that yard off cycle. So I don't want to cut some this week and some next week and have to go back to Summersville twice or Richwood twice. So I guarantee you by the middle of next week, everybody's going to want that. Yep. There you go. So just you know, some theory as to why I do that. So I don't know if you guys actually follow Olive Hugh. So I got 30 people. Yes or no, just Y or N. Do you know who that is? Olive Hugh. And participate. Heck, it's just a Y or an N. Either answer is perfectly fine. The main thing is just to see how aware people are. And the main thing is to know, you know, to what level I need to describe this. Hey, Lori. So if you know who Olive Hugh is, yes or no? Hey, Bonnie. So, Olive Hugh works to bust child predators, right? He sets up decoy accounts, and he doesn't bait people in. He just sets up decoy accounts, right, in a local area. And it'll start with, I think it's my dad right there. It'll start suggesting the decoy to friends, right? So he's not allowed to bait. It would be illegal for him to bait somebody in, but he creates a profile, a decoy profile. These people add him as a friend, and they start making small talk, right? Well, small talk turns into, hey, do you know I'm 14 years old? And the guys will say, yeah, I won't tell nobody if you don't. They'll give quick answers like that, right? So, hey, Michael. Hey, Brenda. So what they'll do is he'll talk to these people. And it's funny, if you ever read the text, he's when I say he's pretty good, because I just don't know a metric, but he doesn't lead them. You know, he doesn't be like, oh, you know, ask little provocative questions and lead them down the road. He plays dumb. He does a very good job at it. He plays not dumb. He plays youthful, you know. Well, these perverted old freaking predators will start just getting real nasty with him, right? The one of them that I seen that he had posted the screenshots of, he was offering the girl meth, and she was 14 years old, right? 14 years old, and he's offering her meth. So he sets up this meet where the men will ask for a sexual encounter, and he'll set up a meeting. And guess who's there when they get there? The men in blue, even though they don't wear blue around here. when he sets up the meet, he'll say, I'll meet you at Indian Rocks. I'll meet you at the Big Ditch Lake. I'll meet you at the Walmart parking lot. What are you wearing? You know, gets them to send pictures, whatever the case is. These men, in other words, they are over the age of 18, and some of them are over the age of like 30 and 40, and some of them are over the age of 60, come to meet up with these 13, 14, 15-year-old little girls to have sex with them. Full-fledged. They've already sent penis pictures. They've already sent lewd pictures. They've already engaged in all kinds of lewd act, you know, like, descriptors. So the men, these real men, are telling this little 14-year-old girl what they want to do to her. Right? Folks, Webster and Nicholas County is eat up with this stuff. Eat up with it. He just popped another one from Summersville like 3 hours ago. Just popped another one. I don't know. I'll say this. The post was posted an hour, 2 or 3 ago. So I don't know when that happened. Folks, the one he popped last week was my neighbor. Was my neighbor. Not in my neighborhood. Was my next door neighbor. Yes. Full-fledged was my next door neighbor. I seen the name come up and I was like, holy cow. Right? Holy cow. Hey, Brandon. So this stuff is real. It's happening. And folks, that's right on the Cottle Loop. Right on the Cottle Loop. So you can go on and you can do a search on the West Virginia State Police website. They actually have it. They maintain a list of child predators or child, what do they call them? Sex offenders. And it gives the address. It gives the category. I think it's like, 0 to 6, 7 to 12, and 0 to 6, 7 to 12, and 13 to 17, I think is the categories they break them down into. I would advise you guys to go search on that website. I shared it once. You go on my Facebook page and just search like child predator. You'll find the website. I shared the link to it. And if somebody wants to, they can share it or share it on here. I would advise you to go look and see who these people are. Because I guarantee you'll be surprised at how many are in Webster and Nicholas County. You know? Yes, Connie. Straight across the road from you. In that damn dope trailer. It was one of the sons. Remember the brown-headed boy that wore glasses? Is that Jessica? I know that's who that is. It was him. Yep. So, what I'm trying to figure out there's quite a few, Sean. There's quite a few. In Nicholas County alone, I'd say there's 40, 50. I'd have to go back and count them. Webster County is probably 30 or 40, maybe 50 over there. That's registered that live in our county. That's registered that live in our county. Oh, 100%, Chris. 100%. I 100% agree. 100%. It's always happened. It's been very prevalent, very prominent. And somebody's just now working to expose it. Yeah, I'll if somebody wants to, you can go on and you can actually search the website and then search by county. And then just scroll and look. Look for Craigsville. You'll be like, holy cow. Holy cow. So we know the what. What I'm trying to figure out is the why. The why. You know, we live in a depressed area. We don't live in a repressed area. We live in a depressed area, right? And the reason I say that is there are a slew of people around here who don't work. They don't have goals in life. Same thing with gossip. I'll give you, the gossip is the same, but it's totally different. Two totally different. Same reason though. You have a lot of people who don't work. They don't have goals in life. They don't have anything they're working towards, so they get depressed, right? They're not bringing, they're not breadwinners. They're not bringing the food home to the family. They're not doing this. They're not doing that. They're not, and then they need to exert power somewhere. That's just one little theory. Drugs, that's another one. Multi-generational sexual, what do you call that? Lewd sexual acts. So in other words, I was molested, so I'm going to molest somebody. That type of thing. Yes, understood. Okay, yeah, I need to clarify that part. I need to clarify that part. There are a lot in our area. The boy that was my neighbor, he actually lived in Fayette County now. And yes, that's a very good point. What it is local law enforcement, Nicholas and Webster County, are working with him and willing to work with him. So he will get them to come from like Fayette County, Raleigh County, Kanawha County, like travel counties, and maybe even, if I'm not mistaken, there was one or two that were from out of state. And he gets them to come in here and work with us, or gets them to come in here and meet the decoy because the police will work with him here. He has some states like Ohio that will not work with him. That absolutely will not. I had to roll my window up because that little car went by. But so, yes, we have a lot that are already registered around here. And then we have the ones that are traveling into this area. So even my neighbor, he had moved to Fayette County. And it's wild. Yeah, I would think so. But I think it's wild that some of the police agencies will not work with him. I think it's wild, like amazing. I'm amazed at why not. And it was funny because he tells the story on here. If you actually watch his lives, one of the stories he tells is that there was a town in Ohio, and he called up and was trying to get him to work with him. The predator had hit on 4 different decoys. Think about that. It wasn't just happenstance that he friended a young lady. He hit on 4 different ones. In other words, by a hit, he's getting a bite. In other words, he's getting that similar activity on 4 different decoys. So thank God we have law enforcement agencies that's willing to go after this, right? Because here's the thing. We are a soft target in the eyes of a lot of people for a lot of reasons, right? Not necessarily true, but, soft target. In other words, I think a lot of people know that, we are struggling financially as a county. I think a lot of people realize that we have 2 incorporated areas and the other ones are patrolled by deputies, that's not even their core responsibility. So that's why I say I think we're perceived as a softer and easy target for a lot of things. Drugs is one of them. This type of activity is another, right? So they think, well, I'm going into, a county that's struggling financially, and I'm going into one of these rural areas of this county and meeting this girl, and I most likely not to get caught. The crazy thing is the neighbor that got caught asked the decoy if she knew Olive. Literally, he said, do you know Olive, right? And that's who he was talking to. And I was like, my God. But the why is what's blowing me out of the water. Folks, I talked to a female one time. She said her dad and her brother, I've told this many times, her dad and her brother both sexually molested her from the time she was 4 till she was like 14 years old. 9 in Craigsville, 31 in Summersville. There you go. And there's more, right? That's just those 2 areas. There's 40 just in Craigsville and Summersville, right? So there's like Mount Lookout, Mount Nebo, Lookout, Richwood. There's a few in some other places, right, Peggy? So that's 40, just Craigsville and Summersville. That's 40 just in those 2 areas. That's amazing. Not a good amazing either. But, it's just the ones I know about. So, when you look at this, and you talk about this, like I said, I keep coming back to the why. Now, I know you can't induce logic into an illogical situation. I get that. I get that. You know what I mean? There you go. 91 in Nicholas County. Woo, I was way off. 91 just in Nicholas County. Thank you for looking that up. Thank you, Peggy and Christina both. Webster County is going to be riddled with it too. This is one of those things where I say familiarize yourself. Make yourself aware. That's my whole intention of doing this video. But folks, yeah, I'm going to plug a little political, do a little political plug here. This is my goal, is to educate folks on things like this. You know, like, especially if I can do it as my job as a county commissioner. You know, I have time, instead of going out and hustling and working and trying to get a little bit of information together for a video, I can actually do this as part of my job. You know, educate the constituency on all matters in the county. You know, all matters in the county. Like, you know, I don't understand the legal aspect of the county. I don't know the difference in indicted and arraigned, and, you know, those are some classes I would love to have. You know, I'm learning now about, you know, you guys know about, you know, I should have paid attention to civics when I was in high school, but I didn't. So now I'm back trying to do that. And as I learn these things, I want to share these things. Like, to me, arraigned means that you've got your charges and you're waiting to go to jail, but I don't understand why you'd wait to go to judge. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know enough to speak on it, is my point. I'm very ignorant in the legal system. Very ignorant. And there's a slew of terms that I have no idea. You know, it's like you guys will say, well, I see somebody go to jail and they come right back out. Right? Well, that's, to me, in my mind, they've got bailed. They've been up for bail. They've bailed themselves out. They're waiting on the evidence or a court hearing or a date or whatever the case is. And instead of them sitting in the Central Regional Jail clicking on the county's dime, they're safe enough that they let them back out. And then when the information comes in, they go back in and they face their charges, and then they're sentenced. Arraigned is the initial appearance in front of the magistrate. Indicted is after the case is presented. Okay, so at least I use the right terms. So arraigned is initial appearance in front of a magistrate. So yeah, they go in and they get arraigned, and then I guess that's to determine if they can get bond or not, or bail. They can get bonded out or bailed out. Indicted is after the case is presented to the jury. Okay, so then they go back in and they face their charges, which that would be the indictment. So from the arraignment to the indictment, sometimes that's a little bit of time. You'll see somebody come back out into the community for a month or 45 days. And I think the right to a speedy trial, is that 45 days? I think you have the right to have your trial heard in 45 days. Well, who in their right mind, if they're guilty, wants to go for 45 days if you can maybe be like, well, let's push it out to 50, 60, 70 for some reason. You know, like, oh, I'll wait. I'm good, you know. So I'm not saying those are illegal or unethical or anything, but, you know, you have the right to a speedy trial. Now, I think you can waive that, but I'm not sure. Michael's going to be like, I'm not a teacher, dude. I didn't come on and teach you all this stuff. Okay. I got you. Required to set bail on all cases that aren't capital offenses. Okay. So these are the things that I want to teach and learn and share. So we all know, like, oh, they went in and ratted out and narked out and got right back out, right? Because we all hear those rumors. We all hear those rumors. So right there, if it's not a capital offense, such as murder, they can get bailed out. They can get bailed out. So it's not that they sold somebody down the road. It's not that a deal got cut with them. They're out waiting on their charges. Now, at one time, I believe, I don't remember if it was, I don't remember, listen to me. I do not remember if it was the 2016 or 2020, it's either 2016, 14, or 12, and I know that doesn't happen. But somewhere around 2012, 14, or 16, I want to say probably 14, I think it was midterm elections, I had talked to Greg Boso at that point, and we were talking about some of these, these hang-ups in time and everything. And at that point in time, he had brought up and talked to me about the fact that the evidence drug processing lab was on a 6-month backup at that point in time. So that's like, probably wasn't 2012, probably was 14, about 7-8 years ago. So they were on a 6-month backlog. So if I go in on drug charges and I can get arraigned and I bail out, I could wait 4, 5, even 6 months before I am indicted, and I go and I basically answer for my charges. And that's when you see these big roundups. In my mind, they're not busting drug dealers and doing all that at this point. They're going around and rounding all these people up that didn't show back up for their charges. Now, that's how I understand it. This is my ignorant way of saying it. But I don't believe that all these people are walking back out on the street because they're ratting out on somebody. I don't believe that. About a year. There you go. It's because we can pay $1,500 a month for them to sit in jail, or we can throw an ankle bracelet on them and chase them around and track them and let them get down to the DRC and do whatever the case is, because it's a minor offense. So we can cut our jail bill from $96,000 a year, hopefully down to about $60,000 or $70,000 a year. And those numbers are pretty accurate. But I think if we understand things better, and I know I'm getting off on a sidetrack here, I'm going down a rabbit hole. I think if we understand things better here and we have better expectations, we would be much more satisfied with the process, because we understand it. And I think a lot of frustrations that we as constituents of this county have is because we have no idea how things work. So we bitch and complain about things just because we're too ignorant and don't understand. And they say, well, that don't make no sense. Why the hell did they beat the officer back to the house? Well, because they got bailed out. Because it wasn't a capital offense. And I'm just quoting what I read there. I'm not going to say this like I knew these things. So I think a better understanding of the law in a very lay perspective, and even an understanding of how things flow. So you're picked up, you're arrested. It's a simple drug possession, something like that. You're taken down to Central Regional Jail, right? You're booked, I think it's the term they use. You see the magistrate. Magistrate says, hey, first time, low risk. Let's get him out of there and get him back off the county's dime. So we're going to set his bail at $10,000, of which you only have to come up with $1,000. So, somebody can put their property up. They can borrow $1,000 off a friend, whatever the case is. They can put that up. 10%, right? I think the bail's 10%. Or you go through a bail bondsman or whatever. And I'm trying to actually really act like I know what I'm talking about here. Anyways, you get bailed out. You come out on the street. You have to make your court hearings. As long as you make your court hearings, you get to go. That bond is released back to the bail bondsman, and you're out your $1,000. Right? You're 10% of whatever it is. $1,000, $10,000. So long as you make all your court appearances and your hearings, you're good to go. And then all of a sudden, everything comes back in. They present the case, and you face your charges, and you're indicted. In other words, they say, okay, you got 6 months in jail and 3 months, probation after, whatever the case is. So that's why we're seeing people go into Central Regional Jail and come right back out and stay out for a long time. Because you think they're actually out and done. They're just waiting their charges. They're waiting on the evidence and waiting on the case to be presented. And I think that's a very wise use of resources, is to put them back out and take them off that county dime. $1,500 a month it costs to keep somebody there. Every 10 people, that's $15,000. Every 100 people, that's $150,000. You see what I'm saying? However that works out. But I believe if we better understand the process, we'll be a lot happy residents. That's just like a guy told me one time. He said, Gary, a judge can only enforce the laws that are on the books. And he can only impose the penalties that are on the books for those laws. I mean, Michael, is that a fair statement? You can only enforce the laws that are on the books, and you can only impose penalties that are on the books for those laws. Bail bondsman generally charge 10% if your family posting yourself. It's a full amount. Okay, full amount. Okay, so I kind of got the general there. So, even when you see these folks go in, now to my understanding, what Olive's doing is he's getting them for, intent. So intent is not the actual act thereof. So it was intent. It was like sexual intent on a minor. Intent. So in my mind, that is a way lesser charge, right? And carries probably, you're you're not a sex offender because you did not engage in sexual activity with a minor. That's how I would understand it. Does that sound right? So you're not going to be a registered sex offender because he popped you. You're going to face a lesser charge, but those charges will remain on your record, and that's why he screenshots and sends that stuff out, because his goal is to out him. Like, watch this person. Here's what they are. I mean, that's my understanding of it. It's intent. You know, in other words, I can present to a judge or to a prosecutor. I can prove to you that that's what this person was coming to do. Okay. So soliciting via computer, and the second is traveling to engage in the act. And Brandon, that probably validates what you were saying. And they will. Okay. That's good then. I kind of figured, since it was a lesser charge, that it would be less of a that they maybe wouldn't register. And I definitely appreciate, Michael, all the information, because I really believe, and I believe this in my heart, if we inform ourselves and better understand and set proper expectations, we will see that all of our elected officials and all of our county officials and all of our hired officials and all of our systems are working as they should. The key word is as they should. You might not agree with the laws. Work with your legislators and get those laws changed, or get new laws added or updated. So they open up the book and they say, here's the laws, and here's the penalties. I can't impose a penalty that doesn't exist. And I think somebody told me one time, what did they say? It's not against the law to use drugs. It's against the law to have drugs. In other words, I don't think there's actually a charge for the consumption or the use of the drug. It's because you have it in your possession and the paraphernalia. I don't know if that's true or not. Michael definitely know that. Understood. And, you know, a lot of times that's all, just kind of what I call a guesstimate or a vague understanding. That's all we're going to need to know. But I really do think that people will be a lot more pleased. I really do. Use it and drive. Then you got your DUI. And one last thing, and I know you're typing away here, and I definitely appreciate your time. Is there still a DUI and a DWI? Driving under the influence of drugs or alcohol, and driving while intoxicated. And I think driving while intoxicated is only alcohol, and DUI is drugs or alcohol. Basically, you're impaired. So there's actually even a difference in there, I think. Same thing. Okay. So it just depends on who you're talking to. Okay. I always wondered that. But, you know, like I said, when we talk about these things and we understand these things and we share these things, and we have subject matter experts like Mr. Cox on here, who that's his job, shares this information, corrects some of the expectations and corrects us. Because there's some things, folks, I know we just got the wrong idea about. We think we just don't have an understanding. And I swear I get so tired. So tired. Well, and yeah, I can understand that, because drugs probably weren't prevalent enough that they had a law for it. So they had to come around and say, look, you know, the folks are operating motor vehicles like high, so we've got to create a law for that. But I think if we have a lay perspective, you know, and a working knowledge, you know, in other words, I've been exposed to it, I kind of know, then our expectations will come in, they'll come in line, and they'll be properly met. I just believe that. You know, it's like a police officer shows up on site, and I say, I'm trying to think of something where I wouldn't have proof. Well, case in point, the other day, police officers arrived, deputies arrived. A man had been looking in mailboxes. So where's the proof the man looked in the mailbox, right? So at that point, they take a report. I say he looked in my mailbox. He says he didn't. I don't have proof of that. You know, if I have a camera, if I have video of that, I've got a damaged mailbox, my mail's in his pocket. You know, if I've got proof of that, Other than that, it's just he said, she said. And I could be looking right at him and no, by gosh, I seen him with my own, I watched him with my own eyes. That's just an accusation. It's like a dope house. People say, why don't they go in that dope house? Well, where's the proof that it's a dope house? I can't just point at Walgreens and say that's a dope house and then run in and be like, bust the door down and say, yep, we found it. What happens when they go in? There's nothing there. There's a lawsuit against the county. And that's good. That's good information. That's good information. So it does not have to be an illegal drug to catch a DUI. You can pop that prescription bottle out, and all you're doing is validating that you've got a drug in your body that's impairing your driving. Most of them will tell you right on the side. So go ahead and think just because you're swerving all over the road, you pop that bottle up, that you're like, oh, I'm good. I have a prescription for it. I'm like, yeah, and your prescription bottle tells you not to operate motor vehicles or machinery. Whatever they say, I don't take medication. So you have that one as well. You know, oh, I've got a prescription for it. Okay, you just told me what's in your system now. And you told me that it's active in your system. That's a very, very, very good point. Very good point. You know, and like you say, that's one of those where it's legal. No, it's illegal for you to possess that medication. It's legal for you to possess it. It's legal for you to ingest it. It's not legal for you to operate a machinery, motor vehicle, whatever the case is with something like that. And I'll tell you another one, to my knowledge, it does not have to be an automobile to get a DUI either. Driving, it don't say driving an automobile. To my knowledge, it does not have to be a vehicle. And you see some of these things, you're like, really? Like, yep. It does not have to be a truck or a car. It's like, I'm safe, I'm on a lawnmower. Nope. No. That does not correct anything. It's like, I'm good, it's only 12 horsepower, brakes and Stratton. Nah, brother. That thing has a gas pedal or a gas and motorized and moves forward and you're driving down the road? Absolutely. Hey, Sean. Yep. So even them, what they call them, e-bike, or them little mopeds or those little motor assist bicycles. Yes. Go-kart. It's got a gas pedal or it's got something that makes it go that's not your feet or stuff. That's why I said it. I know those happen. DUI on a mower. It's like, whoa, man. I didn't even have the blades on. Oh, my. All right. Out of the rabbit hole here. I have no idea why we're so infested. And do I think it's more than other areas? I think it is. I think per capita, West Virginia, and probably central West Virginia, probably per capita, I'd say we have a higher amount of sexual predators. I might be wrong. That's just gut instinct. But I'd say we have a higher per capita. And I don't know why. And if we don't, we still got too daggone many. Too daggone many. So, is it starting to rain? No. We got too many. You know, and the thing is, here's my hope, right? You guys will see every now and again they'll do a prostitution sting. So, you can arrest the prostitutes. Now, here's my theory. You can arrest the prostitutes and another one will take their place. You keep arresting the prostitutes, another one will take their place. You arrest the prostitute, another one will take their place. You start arresting the Johns, right? You start scaring the hell out of the customers, basically. So you don't necessarily want an officer to pick up a prostitute. You want, how's that go? You don't want an officer to pick up a prostitute. You want an officer to pick up a John. Because then they will never do that ever again. You see what I'm saying? Well, hopefully they don't. Some people are just stupid. But you want to scare them. And that's the same thing with this stuff that Olive's doing, right? Hopefully, you're not going to get rid of the perverted predators. You're going to put the fear in them that the person they're talking to might be law enforcement. Might be working with law enforcement. So the bad part is you can't eliminate that behavior, but you can hopefully deter or scare them from acting on that behavior. That's just my 2 cents. Because I think that's the impact. And I also think that's the value in sharing that information. Because there might be somebody watching this video live or later on that's thinking about it and says, hey, that might be that guy they're talking about. Let me just not act on this thought. You know, that could be what we could only hope and pray for. Hope and pray for. Because I know there are cases where they actually go through with it. You know, they actually meet somebody that's not a decoy. And they prey on somebody who's maybe not socially adjusted. Maybe tends to be an outsider. Maybe tends to not have a lot of friends, you know. I mean, those people know. They just know in their little evil minds and evil hearts. They know what to look for. Look for that outsider, that person with maybe their self-esteem's not real high. They know how to target. I'm not going to sit here and describe everything. But that's the secondary, and I think the major impact. Of course, getting that immediate person off the street is a gain. But I think the more exponential or larger impact is the fact of putting the fear in people. Like, man, he's just slaying them. Slaying them. And I'd say that, and I say boy because anybody under the age of 30 is a boy to me. I'd say that boy could probably have a team of people and just keep working and working and working and working and working, and just finally you scare the hell out of everybody. But he's a one-man army. One-man army. Glad to know him. I am. Glad to know him. And I can't imagine the emotional toll that takes. I just can't imagine that. Constant emotional toll. Constant observation of perversion. Constant. Hey, Michelle. But I mean, you know, somebody like that, how do you help somebody like that? You don't, because they're not gonna go to a doctor and say, hey, I have these types of thoughts and fantasies. They're just not gonna do it. People, you know what I mean? I think that's one of those what I would call a reportable. In other words, their doctor would probably have a legal mandate to report that. I don't know. But, you know, the one thing I will say is law enforcement tend to get a bad name on a lot of things. I don't agree with that. I don't. We got a lot of good law enforcement, and in any group of people, you're going to have somebody that doesn't perform up to standard. I don't care where it is. Group of preachers, group of teachers. You know, group of military, group of police. Anytime you group people together, you're going to have somebody that's not performing up to standards. In other words, their ethics and morals might be dipping. Their integrity might be dipping. Their initiative might be dipping. You know what I'm saying? So to say that there is a perfect group of people, that's just unfathomable in any sort of profession. You just, you know, I'm glad that we have the law enforcement presence that we do. You know, and of course, as a Monday morning quarterback, armchair quarterback, as whatever the case is, of course, I could sit and say, well, if I was there, this is what I would do. You know, I could armchair quarterback it all day long, but you know, until you've sat in that chair or walked in those shoes, you should probably, you know, let the system operate as it is and as it should. What's good looking square body?
I need that.
Yeah. We'll go run him out of the road. Take it. Give me your truck. But like I said, education, sharing this information, making people aware of it, I think that's... I hear ambulance. Ambulance. I don't know how to tell the difference in an ambulance and a fire truck that siren. I don't. Absolutely, Christina. Absolutely. He's a blessing in disguise. Must have went the other way. Must have went the other way. Absolutely, Brandon. I couldn't imagine that. Because here's the thing, right? Imagine the things that he doesn't share. You know? Imagine the things where you're like, this will get me kicked off of Facebook. Imagine that. You know, it's just like when you're in law enforcement, in my mind. I've never been in law enforcement a day in my life, right? But I can understand things conceptually. Conceptually, you're always dealing with the negative aspect of society, right? That has to take an emotional toll. It absolutely has to take an emotional toll. Has to. Because you're dealing with negative aspects all day long. Thank you for the live from the union, lost a family. The family lost her thing from a fire day. Oh my. The ambulance at the firehouse. She said they're at the firehouse.
Yeah.
They did. Well, I hope it's nothing major.
House 4.
Huh?
House 4.
Is it?
Yeah, I just checked.
Oh wow. Does it say where?
Little Big Road.
Where is it?
Little Big Road.
Oh wow. So they're going to be going that way. Huh? They should be zipping through here in a few minutes, folks. Yeah, that I don't want to jump gears too far, but that was a good show today. If you guys didn't see it, there's a live video up from the crucifixion drama that the folks at Little Union Church put on today, and it was done very well, very well. Good message got sent out there, done very well. That's something, since I remember seeing it as a kid, and I always wanted to actually go watch that. I don't know why. I felt compelled to go watch that. And when I found out they were going to do it this year, I told Ada, I said, you remind me 17 times today. Do you have, oh, well, you can see the question. 17 times today, and she reminded me about 14. And I was actually on time. Oh, no problem at all. No problem at all. I figured we'd hear him coming this way.
You gonna hear it?
Huh? I thought I did. Must have been a diesel. Ooh. Absolutely, Brandon. There's a group called Armor Up. If you've never heard of them, they are, for lack of better words, I'm gonna call them a PTSD group that helps first responders. It's called Armor Up, and I think it's Armor Up WV. If you guys remember, Billy had them on the show once. It's like I had somebody ask one time, why police officers are always bossy? Why are they always so bossy? And I thought, well, if I roll in on a situation and I'm by myself, which most of the time they are around here, I want control of that situation. In other words, I want to be like, you go sit down, you sit down here, and I want to control the situation. And sometimes that takes a little bit of assertiveness, and sometimes that takes a little bit of aggressiveness. It really does. To control that situation and make sure that you don't get yourself hurt. Did you see JJ's question?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But yeah, it's he does a wonderful job. Now, as much as I love what he does, I hate that he has to do what he does. What they call it, a necessary evil. He's not a necessary evil. The process is a necessary evil. And how many people in here have actually literally read his screen captures, screenshots, whatever you want to call it. Huh? If you actually read him, he doesn't do anything what I call leading. He doesn't lead anything. He's always like, get away, leave me alone, don't touch me, get off me, that type of mentality. And I think it's a pretty solid approach. Very solid approach. It makes me angry to read some of the nastiness and filth, but it shows how, what's the word I'm looking for? Determined that the predator is to engage in those activities. And I mean, you literally, one of them, and I think I said this already, was offering the little girl meth. Hey, let me get you high on meth. Like, well, let's create a drug addict. Let's ruin somebody mentally on 2 planes for the rest of their life. One on drugs and one on sexual predator. Let's go ahead and create trauma-based addiction here. Because that's what that boils down to. Trauma-based addiction. Because, I'm a 14-year-old girl or boy. These are all happen to be women so far. I'm a 14-year-old girl. I had this man come in and do something to me. And now I have trauma and I don't feel comfortable talking about it. So I'm going to carry that burden around with me, and I'm going to feel like I've done something wrong. I'm going to feel like I'm unwanted, dirty, whatever the case is. And at some point in time, I'm going to turn to drugs or alcohol or food or something, whatever I use as my vice. I'm going to turn to that, and that's how I'm going to cope. I'm going to like the endorphins that are released when I'm high, when I'm drunk, when I've overeaten, when I'm gambling. But one of these things that I use for my vice. And I'm going to continue to do that until I start to drastically abuse it, until it starts to alter my life. Until basically, just like in the 12-step program, my life has become unmanageable because of whatever it is. And then I'm going to continue and continue and continue. Let's shut the ball field lights off. To do this until I can't afford it, I can't function, I've lost control of my life. And then hopefully at that point, I'll get help when I hit rock bottom. Oh yeah, social media gives a very easy path for people to get in. It really does. It really does. Really, really does. It's scary. I remember when I used to ride the school bus home. You guys remember the Cottle post office? There was actually a Cottle post office back then. And I'd get off at the Cottle post office, check the mail, and walk home. 2 or 3 of us would. Hell, we probably weren't 10 years old. I was younger than Noah. We'd jump off the bus, check the mail, walk across the road, go to the house, right? And the thing is, as a parent, you didn't have to worry about that. My gosh, today I'm down there, picking my son up. And if I'm running late, I panic, because I do run late. I'm not even gonna lie. I panic. He's in the 6th grade, getting ready to be a 7th grader, right? Heck, when I was 3rd grade, we'd be out running around all day long, man, because we had to come home. Yeah, it was okay. Unfortunately, we don't live in those areas. We don't live in that. Hey, there he is, man. We've had a whole video about you. Some of it was actually good. No, I'm just playing. But, we've changed, and things have changed, and we're starting to see a huge paradigm shift in how kids are raised. How kids are raised. And I bet all of you could probably bust 4, 5, 6 of them a day if you could actually keep up with all the typing and stuff. And I appreciate that, Marcia. I'd say he could bust 4 or 5 or 6 a day. A day. I definitely understand that, brother. We were just talking about that. You know, the mental impact and the toll it must take. Deputy. To just deal with this type of people every day, all day. Or as much as you do. I will say that. The mental toll, like the I don't even know how to even say it. The darkness and the just the ugliness of the world, the sins of the world. Just watching them day after day after day after day after day. And you're definitely a godsend. I will say that. And it's the irony of what you do. We love it and we hate it at the same time. Love it and hate it at the same time. When I say we love it, we love that it's happening and you're getting rid of it. We hate the fact that it's happening in our area. Y'all mind if I join you? Oh, no. Not at all. Yeah. Not at all. Don't mind at all. I don't know if you know how to do that or not. Yeah. I don't know if you mean literally join in and talk. You're more than welcome to do that. I was trying to see if that's what you were getting at. There it goes. Hola, ¿cómo estás, amigos?
What is up, my guy?
Hola, ¿cómo estás, amigos?
Hold on. All right, sweet. Yeah, I just got out the shower. You know, still, it's kind of it's really. I used to be able to celebrate. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I used to be able to celebrate every time I got these child predators arrested. I remember like 2021. I'd just be like, hell yeah, got another one off the street. And I used to just let's pop a bottle. But now it's just it's more of just like, all right, cool, got another one, like got another one arrested, but I'm still talking to like three more.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know how, like, I really don't want to talk about, like, I don't want to give away my secrets, but all I can say is that for some odd reason, the Facebook algorithm has been favoring a lot of people from Somersville with my decoys. That's all I can say. It's not Nicholas County or Webster County in particular. It's just that for some odd reason, the Facebook algorithm is just like, hey, you know what? We're gonna recommend these people. We're gonna recommend your decoy to these people, So that's kind of how it's like, how it's been working as of lately. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to have because I have a lot of law enforcement in Upshur County, and I know that over there, especially in Buchanan, there are a lot of sick people. I just haven't been able to penetrate through their local people. But yeah, that's kind of why I've been getting a lot in Somersville. It's like this everywhere.
Understood. Now, you primarily focus only on West Virginia?
Yeah, as of now, yes, but I'm kind of stepping away just because I want to test some waters again.
Mm-hmm.
Honest, like, now that I have, like, I guess, a quote unquote resume, I could I could show a lot of these other like law enforcement in different states. You know, like I've been working with a lot of people in West Virginia, and I've been able to successfully get these guys convicted. Like, you know, look me up on Facebook, and yeah, they'll see that, you know, that I basically know what I'm doing.
Right. So your
Yeah.
credibility's maxed out.
What was that?
Your
Oh yeah,
credibility's built. Yeah.
yeah. Because back then, no one would want to work with me. I'm just some Mexican with long hair.
Right.
um, I was literally nothing but my boy Dwayne. He saw something in me, and I was just like, cool. You know, he's the reason why. And I talked about this 2 nights ago about the butterfly effect.
Yes.
How everything just, yeah, how everything just came into fruition. Um, Yeah, but I'm going back to testing waters. I've been putting a couple of decoys in the Midwest. Just want to see how they act. I really want to to get predators in my local area, but it's a little bit kind of hard. I don't know why, but it's just a little bit harder getting them in my area. I'm not saying that like there aren't any. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm trying not to give away too much.
Understood. Definitely understand that. And I'd say, honestly, you're probably limited by the number of accounts you can type on at one time, the law enforcement aspect of trying to get everything coordinated. And I'd say you
Yeah.
could probably just knock them off all day long if you had the resources to do it, and 17 sets of hands and 14 brains.
I mean, I really do wish that like I could start a team. I mean, there are a lot of people that want to work with me, but I kind of refuse to work with civilians
Right.
just because there's this whole entire legal aspect. And you know, if I do form a team, they would like I would be kind of known as the leader.
Right.
And you know, if something goes wrong, if something goes out of hand, like I might be the one getting in trouble.
Right.
Used to
So
have a
now you
team.
pay for your crimes, not somebody else's mistake that they might happen to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You'd be accountable for a mistake that somebody else could make instead of something you're directly doing.
I mean, the only time I will work with someone if it's law enforcement.
Right.
I have provided a couple of decoys to law enforcement in St. Anthony, Minnesota,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been working with a law enforcement here in West Virginia. I can't say where, but I have provided a couple of decoys for them. So I'm always like, if there's any law enforcement watching right now, I'm always happy when they reach out. They're like, hey, you know what? I kind of want to help. You know,
Right.
how do you go? This? And
There's 2 or 3 on here right now. I've seen her name scroll through. So
yeah, I am like more as in I'm extremely receptive when it comes to law enforcement, like just wanting to help out.
understood. Now you typically reach out to them, or they typically reach out to you.
um, at first it was me reaching out to them, but now like I've been blessed. It's a huge blessing whenever they reach out to me. Like it's it makes me happy. I'm like, all right, cool, you know, because back then, especially when I first started doing this, law enforcement in Pennsylvania, they really they dragged me. They're like, you're not supposed to be doing this and blah blah, and I'll leave it to the professionals. And yeah, I was extremely just I wanted to stop doing it. I was just like, you know what, like why am I even like investigating these child predators? But now it's like the other way around, you know. Um, and I'm very humbled by it. It's just it's awesome working with law enforcement. It's like I tell my mom, I'm like, hey mom, I got another child predator arrested. She's like, how are you doing this? Like she doesn't know anything about it.
Understood.
I actually I came I came out as a 15-year-old girl to my mom.
You're right.
I came out to her on like this December or last December, I mean, because she didn't know what I was doing at all. You know,
Right.
she's just always, are you spending so much time on your computer? You know, I just come back home from work when I had a job. I just come back home from work, and because I used to just go out, go to the beach, go out with my friends, go to the bars. I used to have a life,
Right.
I'm not saying that this is hindering my ability to be happy, but now I just come back home from work, or I just stay on the computer now. My mom, she kind of thought like I was like going through a depressive episode, but like after a year and a couple of months of doing this, I'm like, hey mom, so I kind of work with the police, and she's like, wait, what? And like, and I showed her the video of me talking to Mark Cole as a girl. Hello,
Right.
you know my 15. Um, I I showed her that video, and she's like, aren't you afraid that like you could get hurt? And I'm like, you know what? Like it's I'd rather it be me than it be like a 15-year-old girl. You know?
Yes. Yep.
But also like I like I don't use my real name ever. I haven't used um my legal name since first grade. So, you know, I just everything's pretty much anonymous for me. Not even some of my close friends know my real name. But yeah, she was just I just showed her everything, and everything just made sense to her. She was just like, oh, no wonder sometimes I hear you on the phone with with um like a professional sounding person or whatever. And I'm just yeah, she was just really surprised by it.
Well, I mean,
But
I'm
she never,
trying to understand that and quantify that as your mom. You know, you're sitting there going, "What in the world's he doing? He's repressive. He's hiding out in the room. He's on a computer a lot. I hear him with different voices. You know, I mean, there's a million ways that could actually go. What the hell's going on in there?"
yeah, no, I'm just so glad she never walked in on me with my girl voice.
Right?
That would be like, Mom, I can explain.
Like, sure you can, baby. It's okay. I'll just shut the door and leave.
She'd be like, you know what? Love who you love. I'm still
Right?
your mom.
Right?
No, Mom,
Yep.
I don't love them.
I love you no matter what.
um,
Is it hard sometimes to detach from the computer and just say, "Look, I gotta go to bed"?
it's extremely hard.
Yeah.
I used to just be like, I need a mental health break, and so I did take like, I used to be able to successfully take a week off, just not going to talk to these predators.
Right.
That was started doing it. Like the second month of doing this, I'm just like, I feel disgusting. I feel disgusted. You know, like I can't eat without like thinking of like predator dick. You know.
Yep.
But now it's more of just like, I guess it's become like not an addiction per se. It's more of just like they're out there, you know, like they could be talking to like actual
Right.
15-year-old girls.
Right.
And I'm like, nah, dude, I'm gonna get back on the computer, and I just stay chatting and shit, because I'm not gonna lie, some of these predators, a lot of these predators, 90% of these predators have had contact with actual children.
What I figure.
Um Especially one in particular, James Cook. Um, that guy. There are so many vile stories that I heard from him, which it wasn't until he got arrested where I'm just like, you know what, like, because people would be like, oh, you're saving the children and everything, and I was just like, oh, don't say that. It's kind of like that's kind of cheesy. But now it's just like I came into the conclusion after James Cook got arrested. I'm just like, I was just like, holy crap, like I think I am like, you know,
Yep.
protecting children. You know, even though I was getting a couple of
Yep.
arrests, it didn't really register in my mind.
And we don't, like, I've learned about trauma-based addiction around here, right? And there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that. And a lot of these young ladies, they don't want to talk about it, or they'll try to talk about it and they get denied. So you're literally saving drug addiction, alcoholics, sex addicts. You know, you're saving the self-medicating aspect of these people, these little kids not being able to talk to people because of the shame or the denial that might go on with the parent.
Yeah, I actually had a detective in Minnesota say the exact same words that you just said right now.
Yep.
And it's now it's like, you know, it's one of the main reasons why I do it. It just I've always wanted to do this, to be honest. I have like I've there's a couple of like YouTubers that do it, but like in a different way that I am not like, I don't condone it, but it's also like I'm like they just confront these child predators and shame them.
Yes,
And
I've seen that. One of them went. It was actually the resource officer at a school. I watched him walk right up to the school and say, "Hey, I'm whatever the girl's name was," and I think it was the guy. Actually, he was acting as his daughter, who was a student in the school.
damn.
It was the resource officer. I don't know if that's what we call them here. I don't know if that's what they're called, but the school police officer. The guy was acting as his own 14-year-old daughter and confronted the resource officer, and he said, "You need to quit. Like, quit your job."
Yeah, there are some that like actually do get confronted that actually do get arrested, and like props to like the DAs and the police for actually investigating them after the confrontation. But some of them just do it, I guess, just for the attention, which
Right.
it's like I could tell the ones that do it for
The notoriety.
yeah, and I could tell the ones that do it for just the attention, because I could hear it in their voice when they're actually like pissed.
Right.
But
So for
I'm
you,
too.
more of a I guess I'd call it a good burden, but the burden of responsibility now.
Wait, what was that?
I said for you, it's become more of a burden, but a good burden of responsibility. It's like you've taken on a responsibility that you now value, and it's just it's a constant pull.
It yeah, it definitely is. I mean, I also think about the fact that like right now I'm at 27 child predators arrested. So basically now I have to I kind of I want to slow down just because I'm gonna have to I have to keep track of these cases because there's like 24 cases still going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I put track of that, and yeah, I just part of me is just like, Olive, you need to slow down, but I just can't. I want to get these guys.
And it's hard. It's like it's. I mean, I'm going to make an equation here that's way off, but conceptually, imagine if you were walking down the street and there was just thousands of $100 bills. You're going to grab as many as you can, right? So you're going to seize the opportunity, and it's the same with what you've got going on right now. You've got forward momentum. You know what's working. You've got the magic equation at hand, and you're just seizing that opportunity and just working and working and working before, you know what I'm saying, while that wave's moving forward and the accomplishment.
That's
with a respectful approach to it. You know what I mean? You're not looking for the notoriety. You're looking to capitalize on what you've got going on.
I mean, I guess I kind of didn't understand that metaphor, but I'm trying to picture it in my head, but
right.
Kind of lacking some creativity today. I barely got any sleep because I knew I had to get this guy today. So basically, with a lot of my and I'm gonna try to keep it as simple as I could. Every time I do have a sting going on, or a day where these child predators they do want to meet up, I have to be up because you guys are 3 hours ahead.
Yep.
So I'm just like, I wake up at 5 a.m.
For our age. Yep. Your 5's our age.
Yeah. I wake up. Yeah, go to school. And I usually on my normal days, I wake up at noon.
Right.
So a lot of these, like those days, like right now, I'm not gonna say I'm cranky, but I'm never in like in a good mood per se. Like I'm not like, oh, awesome, very cheery. I'm just like I like I'm pissed because I woke up early. But the thing that pisses me off is when I do wake up early and they never show up.
Right.
That's when I'm just like, all right, if you want to play like that.
Right. Understood. So what would you say the percentage are of the people that say I'm ready to meet up, or I want to meet up, and just like drop off, no show? Is that a high percentage or a low percentage?
I really can't say.
I didn't know if most of them would chicken out or most of them actually go forward with it.
I really can't say. I got to keep a tight lip on that.
Understood.
But yeah, I could say that there are some of them that they just they don't want to meet up. They just want to talk sexual. Who they think is a child. They want to send dick pics, and that's all they want to do.
Understood.
So yeah, those ones. They're a waste of time.
Right. Let's say time eaters. They eat your time.
Yeah. Um. Oh, I want to say it. No, I can't say it. Um. I'll have a surprise. I'll have a surprise this month. It's someone that I've been talking to since September, and I don't let any of these child predators get away,
Right.
no matter. And yeah, there's going to be a little surprise in Webster County this month.
Wow. And we were talking about the impact earlier. So the impact that you have directly is that these people are caught and arrested. The impact that you have that probably is exponentially larger indirectly is the fact that that it starts to scare people. So you don't necessarily want to hide what you're doing. You want that to be out there so people are like, look, hopefully I'm not talking to this man. You know what I mean? So the fear factor is exponential. The direct impact is there, and you have an exponential fear factor. In other words, you know what I'm saying? Wide known, people start to know, like, I might be talking to this guy and hope to scare him or deter him from moving on something that they think they want to move on. So it might.
Yeah, it's become one of my biggest concerns. I'm just like, I hope, like, right when I tell them my age, I'm just like, either it's been, hmm, yeah, people are scared. That's all I could say is that people are scared right now. Um,
But that's a good thing, right?
yeah, it's a good thing, but also, like it's because these people, they're probably still sick in the head.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You can't
Uh,
get that. You can maybe take the urge to act on it away, but you're not going to get rid of what they've got going on in their mind.
yeah, and my biggest fear, my biggest concern is that, like, they might not want to talk to a child online.
Mm-hmm.
They might try to do it in person.
Understood. So
So
they in first person, they start grooming that child.
yeah.
Takes your opportunity away from you.
Yeah, like
And
that's kind of, I wish I could remain on the down low, but it's just, when you're getting so many of these types of people arrested, it's just hard for other child predators to not notice.
right.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I have noticed that there have been a couple of people that I've been talking to that have followed me on Facebook and on Instagram, and it's just like they want to be a step ahead. But if any child predators are watching, just know that, like, I'm like way more steps ahead of you guys. But yeah, I'd be having, like, I'm like that eye in the sky. I'm like, I see you. I
Right.
see you.
Three, like chess. They're playing checkers. You're playing chess. I'm 3 moves ahead of you.
And they're playing like yeah, they're playing chess, and I'd be playing, or they're playing checkers. I'm playing 3D chess right here.
Right. Bunch of options.
Yeah, I gotta turn off right now.
It's crazy. I mean, and like we were saying earlier, we were talking. I can speculate. Like I can speculate the impact on you. I can speculate. I can speculate a lot of these things. And like I said earlier, there's probably a lot of stuff that you don't share that would probably just blow people's minds. The part of the conversations that you don't share, or the part that are just too bad to put on to put online, where people would just be utterly disgusted even more than they are now.
Actually, I want to talk to you, like, in private, like maybe after this, because, like, I do want to talk to you about that. You'd be surprised how much we actually do talk, how much there is in the chats. I wouldn't want to put it out there just for
Understood.
yeah, just for privacy's sake.
Yeah.
And
Dude, you literally busted my next door neighbor. I mean, he wasn't now. He hasn't been for probably a year or two, but I was like, holy cow. I mean, that brought it right home.
yeah, no, that's one of the guys that and I told you this, that's one of the guys that was he was on my shit.
Yep.
He was my Instagram stories. He was watching my Facebook stories, and I managed to convince him. My decoy did that. It wasn't me.
Right.
Even mentioned me by name on
Right.
my decoys, and I was just like, nope, I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna get this guy. I
Right.
have seen his.
And it worked. And
Yeah,
that
I made
showed
him shit.
desire. His desire outweighed his logic. You see what I'm saying? His mom was
Yeah.
telling him, like, this could get you in trouble, but that desire outweighed that. Grossly outweighed it. Like, it's worth the risk.
He was thinking what the other had.
Yes. I call it the little brain. Thinking with the little brain. Have you ever caught a female? Have you ever caught a female?
I have talked to female predators, but to be honest, I had to report it to, like, it wasn't law enforcement here. It was I think this was like in Illinois, in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Because this female sounded like a human trafficker. She had like very human traffic vibes going on.
Wow.
Yeah, and I sent them the chats. I don't know what they did with it, but I just gave them everything. I even gave them like the login info to that Facebook account. I'm like, if you guys want to investigate everything, just you guys can take the whole entire account.
Right. Like, take it, run with it, do whatever you want with it. Wow, that's crazy.
And with those, if I ever run into a trafficker, I wouldn't take credit for any arrest, just for my safety, because those guys they're crazy.
That's a business. I mean, that's literally a business, and they're all about
that, and also just people that actually are abusing their children. I just don't want to deal with that.
Understood. Yeah, because there's a lot of, I mean, there's a lot of safety concerns. There's a lot, especially if for people getting arrested, and like you say, that's why I said it's a business to them. In other words, they'll go a long ways to protect their business. Literally the same effects, literally. And I'm sure when you get into some of the legalities, like some of them would require you to do more on the backside than to just say, hey, here it is. Here's your case. You guys run it. Here's all the evidence you need. So you can actually move on to the next thing.
Yeah, it's happened a couple of times. I'm pretty sure I talked about this to my I ran into CP. I'm not gonna say the full word, but I ran into CP while I was doing this on Snapchat, and I didn't want to deal with it. Like just looking at those images that this trafficker sent me. I believe it was a trafficker, but those images made me throw up. Luckily, I was already in touch with one of the guys in the ICAC unit. So after I had my little mental breakdown, I was like, hey, what do I do if I ran into CP? They're like, oh, just give me all their the information on that Snapchat account, and I'll take care of it from there. Just break all contact off with. I did, and that's when I deleted Snapchat. I'm just like, I'm never gonna do this on Snapchat.
Right. Yeah, I think people will be willing to take more risk on Snapchat. You know what I mean? They'll go deeper because they feel that there's a level of protection there. Like,
people think that they are safe just because like the chats delete after 24 hours. But any detective, any law enforcement could subpoena all those messages, and everything's it's still there on the internet,
I used to work with a phone company, right? And like when you delete a voicemail, all it does is delete the pointers into those little 4-second increments on the voice drives. So at any point in time, they could go back and recover those. It just frees up the pointers and says, hey, give this person another drive space over here. They think that stuff deletes and goes away, but it doesn't. That's like when I used to do commissioning on new switches. In other words, it routes phone calls. People say, oh, you'll hear beep, you'll hear click. One of the things we did, and we had to make sure of, is that if we did a call monitor, that nobody could hear us actually break in or shut the line, either lift the line up or put the line down, literally. So people had these, I think these what do you call it? False sense of security that, oh, it'll go away. And it doesn't. It doesn't. Like you say, it's way deeper than people understand. So when they think they're ahead, they're already behind.
I mean, like, I don't want to get like too into it, but yeah, there's a lot of technicalities that go into like just everything. It's just, there's no way that you could like delete just everything off the internet unless you are doing this through the dark web,
Right.
and that like the whole entire peer-to-peer, you trust them enough to delete your stuff, but it's somehow still there.
Right. Yeah, you got something somewhere residual. Or I mean, how many 12, 13, 14-year-old kids understand it on that level? You know what I'm saying? Where they're just like, nah, dude, trouble. That they could convince them that.
I do believe it, like nowadays, they are getting a little bit tech savvy. They know what's on. But yes, there are still a lot of young children that they don't know. I've seen, and I'm not going to say who it was, but they commented, or they posted a screenshot of like, their daughter commenting on TikTok. I believe that daughter is like around like 10 years old, and she was replying to a spam bot. And I'm like, she actually thinks it's an actual person, but it's like it was a spam bot, and it was kind of wholesome, but it's just like, I hope she already had that talk with her daughter about, like not communicating with random strangers on internet. And that's something that like that's another thing I want to. My end goal is just to bring like a full-on awareness to what's going on. A lot of people, a lot of parents, people in general, they think that these child predators, they're just like basically 1 in 100. But no, it's more of just like 40% of the people on the internet are you just never know. If like it could be your neighbor.
Right. Yeah, just waiting for the opportunity to present itself.
But yeah, I just got lost in my train of thought right now.
There you go. Too many things going on. Hey, plug your hoodies and stuff.
Hold on, I don't know how to do it on. Hold on, actually, let me
You can
do
verbal.
it.
Or you throw it on here or verbal.
I could copy this link.
So my son totally rocks your hoodie into a school down here, into Richwood High School.
It's yeah, my hoodie's gonna be in the comment section. It's on the human.creator-spring.com.
There it is. Yeah.
They're only gonna I'm only gonna have it running for today, tomorrow, and Sunday. Sunday night's gonna be the last chance you could get the hoodie for a while. They're gonna come back. They're gonna make a comeback. But for now, I'm just gonna take the listing down, and when I do re-release the hoodies, I'm gonna have different designs, including one for my official logo for the Operation Juice Box. It's gonna be a little. I still don't know what the logo is gonna look like. I still have my artist working on it, but all I know is that it's gonna look sick.
That's awesome. So how what are your days, man? What's your days consist of? Are you all the time? Do you go hang out? It could just be like
I wake up at 4 a.m. I chug like 2 bottles of water. Then I go to sleep at like 7 a.m. and I listen to true crime stories while I'm sleeping.
Right.
While I go. And I do a lot of lucid dreaming. I'm a huge lucid dreamer. I've been doing that since like I was 9 years old. It's I just have like the craziest dreams, and the rest of the day I just talk to child predators.
So that 4 to 7 is so you could be a young girl getting ready to go to school, right? And have those conversations.
Yeah, basically.
Because that's 7 to 10 our time.
Yeah, Saturdays are a little bit different, because I do be living the life of a 15-year-old girl. um, I'm just like, oh man, I have the whole entire day off. I'm just gonna
Leave me the
I'm
hell
just,
alone, right?
yeah. But I'm not like, that's not to say that I don't have any friends. I do have friends. I do. I have I have a little group of friends. Just gotta keep my circle small. We just go to bars, go bowling. Just do that. Just
Right.
because I gotta live my own life too.
Yes.
And I also have my dog here. I gotta take care of him. Clean
Mental
up his poop.
mental health. It's all about positive mental health. Stay healthy. So
Yeah, and you know, I my sister, she's kind of worried about like my mental health actually, because I used to be very creative. Well, it's not that like doing this has hindered my ability to be creative. It's just like I just put more energy into getting investigating these child predators. But at some point, I know for sure, I'm gonna be not as focused as I am with this. And I'm gonna go back to making videos.
great.
Yeah, I used to make a lot of videos. If you look up if you go on YouTube and look up Secret Human Machine, that's my YouTube account. That's where I put my creative stuff up. Um, and yeah, that's basically me. And also, um, I do be playing on the Switch a lot.
Heck yeah. Wind down time. No, I seen your. I follow your story, and I think what was the? There's a cow in the car.
Yeah, I do. I also do a lot of photography and stuff, but I just
Cool.
posted that in case because I actually to the 23 people that are watching, just that wasn't happening. Now that happened today, I just posted it up. So the child predator that got arrested today, if he was on my ass too, he probably was like, oh, he's busy.
Right.
Yeah, because all I can say is that the predator that got arrested today, he was like, oh man, I kind of knew it was a setup. But
Really?
yeah,
Oh,
but,
wow.
but yeah, he still went for it.
That's what I'm saying. So the desire outweighs the logic. Like I got a
Yeah, and
bad
also
feeling
because
to do this.
yeah, that's wild. I kind of thought that like I wouldn't get as many arrests this year as I did last year. I honestly thought, I'm just like, you know what? If I get 8 this year, that'll be great, because I kind of felt like I scared a lot of them off. But I'm already at 13 this year alone. Last year was
No,
14.
I
I'm
think
just like,
skills and you and you can even see it in your conversation. I think as you hone your skills and you 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 work on your approach, I think it's just going to be more and more and more and more and more. I mean, because sometimes when I read him, I'm like, man, he just actually acts like a little angry teenage girl. Like leave me alone. Why are you bugging me? Stuff like that. And you're just better at it. I think is what I'm trying to say. So I think as you hone that, it appears to be more realistic, and people bite. They'll bite. More people will bite.
it's because I am an angsty teenage girl.
Well,
No, no,
talking,
like
and I'd probably be an ass at that point. Be like, I'm angry. So when I'm typing angry, I'm really angry.
um also like I do have like a teenage sister. She's 17,
Mm-hmm.
and so like I kind of like learn a little bit from her, and like I just me just being the Olive that I am, I like keeping up with the trends. um I know what like the new music, these kids be listening to, because I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy that music too.
Right.
um yeah, that's why they're convinced to that it's me, because if it's like, let's just say if it sounded like a cop, and like that cop would just like, oh, this is the song that I really like, and it's like a song, it's like a Drake song from 2010, they're just gonna be like, this is old, like, why is this all listening to this. They're gonna be like, "This is what I used to listen to when I was
Right.
like in high school."
Not soul. This is an old person trying to.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's crazy out there, and hopefully these other states are gonna be able to like they're gonna cooperate with me because I really do want to work with other states just because I kind of feel like I do have a lot of child predators scared right now, which is a good thing, but I will be back like once I do work with them. I'm mainly aiming for Alabama, um, just because I had one arrest over there, and the sheriff was like, "Hey, if you have any more, just let me know."
Right.
And yeah, I never got back to him, but I will soon.
Understood. Understood, man. What was something else I was going to ask you? I try not to get into the personal side of things. I know you had mentioned once on one of my videos before, maybe about possibly relocating. Is that still you think in your plans?
Definitely yes. California sucks so much shitballs. The only good thing that's here in California is the food,
Right.
and it's worth the sacrifice.
Right.
I do like the beaches though. That's something that I'm gonna miss. I'm gonna miss the hot babes, you know.
Right.
And that's basically all, you know. It's just the food and the beach, but it's like what's you know, there's really nothing. I'm tired here. You know, basically I want to start I want to start a family. Literally all my friends my age, they're way too scared to even start. I'm 28. I still live with my mom,
Right.
and it's because you know there's just so like financial insecurities going on here. Is we don't want to have children. We don't want to move out because a lot of people that do move out end up moving back in with their parents, and
Yep.
I just like and they live in like very shitty rundown places. For going like a small studio goes for like 1,500 a month.
I lived in Orange County and from 2001 to 3. Oh my God. I had a small 777 square foot 2 bedroom apartment in 2003. My rent utilities were $2,500 a month. It was crazy. So are you familiar with SoCal? I mean, like fairly familiar.
Um, in Orange County, I was born in Orange County.
So I lived in Escondido. I lived in Oceanside. I lived in Irvine. I lived right off Jamboree. I don't know if you remember where the Tustin Marketplace is.
Not really,
Right off of
no.
Jamboree. So Jamboree crosses the 5 and the 405. I was on the 5 side. You get off on the 5 on Jamboree, little marketplace down there. I actually lived down there. It was new apartments then, but it was so expensive, and that's however many. That's almost 20 years ago.
Yeah, fun fact. Uh, like we were homeless for the first 6 years that I was born. Um, we didn't actually have like our own place till like I was 7 years old. So yeah, I just never really got to know any of the places in SoCal. But all I can say is that LA smells like piss.
Yes, I used to work in a building right down in LA. I worked on Wilshire and literally in the one Wilshire building. I rode the red line in, and I'd get off, and man, the smell. And when my family came out, I said, "Now LA is going to disappoint you," but I said, "We're going to go to Las Vegas," and I said, "You're going to have fun out there. All the glitz and glam's going to be in Vegas, but not LA." Literally,
Yeah, no.
smell of
I
urine downtown. Oof.
get downtown. I'm like, ah, the sweet smell of piss.
Literally, literally.
But it's interesting. There are a lot of wild people over there. You know, very eccentric.
Yep.
I like that. You know, I like people that get out of their comfort zone. But it's like sometimes I'm just like, yo, this is a little bit overwhelming. Because I live in Santa Maria. It's kind of it's a agricultural town,
Mm-hmm.
agricultural city actually, and a lot of people here, they're very they just keep to themselves. They're not like out there. They're very you know, if you do something weird, people are just gonna be looking at you like, what the fuck? Like, what are they doing, you know?
Right.
uh that's that'd be me, because I used to I used to ride around with my bike with a porcelain doll taped to it, and people would just look at me weird. But I'm just like, I'm working on a YouTube video, okay?
That's the one thing I do miss, is like you say, is individual expressionism. Hey, there's a comment. I want to make sure you're catching a couple of these. Mike Cox, if you need a reference for your work in other areas, feel free to have those agencies contact Nicholas County Prosecutor Office and ask for him. We're prosecuting several of your cases now. I don't know. Can you see the comments I'm seeing?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
just make sure you're seeing those.
Who's Michael Cox?
He's a prosecutor here in Nicholas County.
All right, I'm adding you as a friend. Let's see.
And you've got I think Jay Overball's on here. He's a trooper. Jeff Davis on here. He's a trooper. Got a couple of them on here.
Yo, if any of you guys are troopers or affiliated with law enforcement, feel free to send me a friend request. Do send me a message, because right now I can't accept that many friend requests. I have like 700 friend requests right now, and my the friend limit on Facebook is 5,000, and right now I'm at like 4,900. And I'm basically, I could only accept like a few, so I had to delete a couple of. I do prioritize law enforcement. So if you guys, if any of you guys are watching, do send me a friend request and send me a message saying, like, you know, I'm affiliated with law enforcement, or I'm a trooper. Just, you know, just anything, because I will accept your friend request.
Good stuff.
Yep. I kind of always wanted to do this, like this live back and forth.
Right.
Yeah, for a while.
That's cool. I was going to ask you a couple times, like, he's busy, yada, yada, yada. You're kind of famous, so I didn't know if I should, you know, like, I'm an old hick down here, you know.
I feel like you're famous right there.
I'm famous. What is it? I'm small town famous. There's like a country song, right? Like, everybody knows Gary until he leaves Nicholas County, and it's like, who's this guy? Who's this Santa Claus looking guy? Where'd the beard come from?
No, funny thing is that, like, I'm started, like, I checked my I don't know if you have Instagram, but like, you could check your insights, and apparently there are as many equal people in Webster Springs that are following me in my own city. So I have like 2.3% in my own city, and I also have 2.3% in Webster Springs.
Wow.
And I'm just like, wow, more people over there know me. Like, here I'm like literally nobody here.
All the way across the country. So you got a family, right? So you got a family you haven't even met yet.
Basically, yeah. And like, I honestly can't wait till
I'll be right
I over there.
I'm gonna run and get my son. Stay on here. I just got to run right here to the skating rink.
All right.
But I can keep talking. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of cool in a way. I mean, and that's what Brandon and a bunch of folks are saying on here. You're well known in the area, and well respected. That's the most important thing.
That's awesome. I don't know what to say. That's too many kind words.
You're doing the work. You're just reaping the rewards of your labor, fruits of your labor.
No, but a huge shout out to law enforcement too, because like, I do the you know, I do the typing and all that stuff, but law enforcement, they put their safety on the line, because, you know, you never know if the child predators are going to do something stupid.
Right.
But yeah, they're the ones that do the physical work, that they physically interact with them. And you know, some of these predators, they are kind of scary. James Cook. But shout out to law enforcement for, you know, actually taking time out of their day to apprehend these child predators that I've been investigating.
That's one. I mean, honestly, that's one thing we've got around here. We've got a good, solid group of, you know, what I call. I mean, when I say good old boy, what I mean is they have good, strong family values. They have a good, steady moral compass, and they just. I mean, it's literally people who want to do the right thing and they have the opportunity, and I'll say the local control to do what they need to do and do what's right. You know what I mean? They don't have somebody breathing down their neck saying, "Hey, don't do this." Hey, speak of that, we got reds and blues flashing over here. Those lights are always pretty as long as they're not behind you.
I get.
So when folks come to meet, they literally walk into a law enforcement, right?
Wait, what was that?
When folks come to meet the decoy, they literally walk right into law enforcement, right?
Basically, yeah. They be there already. They already have handcuffs with their name on it.
Right. And like in their actual car or in a I don't want to get too deep into it.
Yeah, I can't really say that.
Yep. It's always it's the irony in like usually your last message is like really crazy, like holy cow. Vote for Gary. And there's my son plugging me. Vote for Gary.
Yeah.
So
anytime he sees you, he says that.
Does he?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm trying to ask the question without asking too specific. How do I want to say this? Because I mean, in a very ugly situation, it's nice to see just a tad of I guess I want to call it closure, and your closure, you know, is Bob. I'm just going to ask it. If you can't answer, that's fine. So in my mind, you're in the way it plays out, you're in contact live with local law enforcement on site. And that's how you know that you know what I mean? Like when you make that last little closing statements, because the confirmation's there. They've already made eye contact with that person. They're getting ready to make the arrest, right?
Yeah.
That's what I figured. So you literally know, like they're getting him right now. Because I think, what was it? One of them, you said, "I hope you're not as annoying to your cellmate as you were to me."
Yeah, I believe that was oh my God, I forgot. Yeah, no, that guy was straight up annoying. He'd be like, babe.
That's what it was. And then one of them, you talked about the food. They were going to meet at like Taco Bell, and you said, "I hope the food's better than where you're going to take me," or something.
Oh yeah, Brian Cutlip. Yeah, that guy's fucked. Just because I can't really talk much about it, but like the fact that because he's trying to like he's pissed that he got caught, but you know he's trying to argue, but you know he did say, like, literally in the chats, he said, "I can't wait to get that 15-year-old P word."
Right.
Ooh.
Like, yo, that is straight up you just, what's that word called when you
Incriminated himself.
he straight up incriminated himself.
Yeah. I mean, literally, like, dude, we're not going out for ice cream. You know, it literally stated what his objections were. I mean, what his goals were, objectives.
Yeah.
All right, let me get pulled back around here. Man, I used to drive every night for like 2 hours, and it's getting too daggone expensive. So now I'm parking in Craigsville.
How's the gas over there? What's the median range?
I think it's 397. 397.
Damn. That ain't expensive at all.
What do you guys got?
Right now we're at like 650.
Woo!
Yeah, I was watching the news. There are actually people in around the San Diego area that they drive to Mexico to get their gas.
Wow.
Yeah, because over there it's like around like it's around like your guys'. It's like 370 something.
Well, that's what when I left here in 2003, gas was 3 something a gallon. Then that's 2003. So I say, you know, I talk about some of that sometimes, like the difference in the cost, like registering a vehicle. If you register a vehicle here in West Virginia, it costs you $51.50 a year. That gets you your tag. $14.66 gets you your inspection sticker. In 1999, I owned a 1997 Ford Expedition. I think it cost me $350 some to get it registered in California.
Um, I had a salvage title Miata 2004. That was like it was like 150 a year,
Right.
but I would always I would always drive with my tags expired, so I'd get another $50 like added to that, so I'd pay like 208.
And smog, and I mean, I enjoyed it. I was out there from I was out there from 1993 till 2003. So I was out there 10 years from the time I was 21 till almost 32 years old. I had a blast. Southern California was a blast.
Oh, Brenda mentioned something huge. No smog test. You guys have smog tests over there?
No.
Wow.
Nah.
Wow. Yeah, no. I had to jump through some hoops to get my 1993 Nissan smog check pass, and that's expensive itself, but
Yep.
it's cheaper than getting a new catalytic converter.
Right. Yeah. Nah. And I'm not gonna really say it, but yeah. So when Cadillac converters clog off, you just kind of cut them off, put your straight pipe in, keep it moving. Yeah.
Do you guys have like a catalytic converter theft problem over there?
Yes. Yeah, there's some
No.
sort of mineral or something that's in them, and they steal. Like they will literally, like around here, you'll have people like, say, coal miners, when the coal mine was big, 8 or 10 of them would park somewhere and they would ride together. Man, they'd come through with those battery operated sawzalls and cut the cats off 7 or 8 of them just in like 20 minutes. Take them and sell them at the scrapyard.
That is
They were
wild.
stealing grave markers around here, brass grave markers, bleach,
Jesus.
aluminum bleachers. They were cutting those up and taking them into the scrapyards. Oh yeah, it was bad. It's settled down quite a bit.
Yeah, no, it's always really bad over here. I actually had mine almost cut, but my dog, he just started barking, and I woke up. It was like 3 a.m.
Right.
and I was so heated. I know something bad could have happened to me, but I had an airsoft BB gun, and I pointed it. I'm like, get the hell away from my car, you know. And I was just pointing. I'm like, don't shoot, Olive, because if you shoot, it's not gonna be like, bah, bah. It's just gonna be like little BB guns.
Pissed them off.
But that scared him. That scared him enough.
Right. Yeah, a lot of times they don't pay attention to the size of the hole on the end of the barrel. It's like, whoa, that's a gun. I don't know what kind it is, but it's a gun.
I mean, it's California. People here aren't really familiar with guns,
Right.
so
Well, that's one thing when I was in the Marine Corps, like, and I would, this was sometimes that's the first time they'd ever touched a gun. Hell, when I was in high school here, man, when I went to Richwood High School here, we actually took guns to school. Like they hung in the back of your truck in a rack, like full-fledged.
Yeah, I saw that, like, that you guys are like, there's a girls softball raffle, like, for high school, like, and the prizes were a bunch of like just firearm.
Yep.
And I'm like, yo, parents would be outraged here in California. Like, that's one of the main reasons why I want to get out of here, because I want to be I want to own a gun, you know. Well, especially because I need it for my safety, but
Yep.
it's just
Yes.
it's just really hard getting a gun over here.
No, we're Second Amendment proud over here, man. Like, and it's funny, like it's still a little odd, but you got a lot of people around here who open carry. They really do. I mean, they'll walk right in the store and you look down, here's a guy with a gun. A lot of people who conceal carry here. Concealed carry permits are as long as you got a clean criminal background, $50. You go through a class, you get a concealed carry permit. I mean, open carry is legal, and then to conceal, you have to actually get a permit. But it's pretty simple.
Yeah, I want to be a badass and open carry. No,
There double six, right? Like one down each side.
No, honestly, it's like my mom gets scared of it. She's like, are you gonna be like having a gun over there and everything? I'm like, most likely. And she's just kind of she's just scared of it because none of us in the family own guns. Like, only in Mexico, little kids be walking around with rifles, but it's just doesn't fly by here.
Like I said, not anymore. Something's changed. I'm not up with the current laws, so Michael actually just said it. Let's see, not anymore. So something's changed. But anyways, yeah, it's the gun aspect, especially from living in California. I lived out there, totally different around here. Yeah, no schools. Maybe that's what he's saying. You can't take them to schools anymore. But when I was a kid, you could. Yeah, they're not allowed on the school property. Let me clarify that part. But open carry and stuff. I mean, people are very gun friendly. It's just not, out down the road with a pistol, somebody to freak out and call the law on you. Here, they just kind of look at you and be like, "He ain't bothering nobody. He's going hunting or coming back from this or that." But it's a cool place, man. The one thing I will say is we lack diversity, and the job opportunities are slim. If you're a go-getter and a self-starter, you can. There's money to be made around, but you're not going to make it working for somebody. You know?
Well, I
Okay,
I
there
don't know.
said no permit
Capitalize.
for concealed anymore. That's what he's saying. Okay, no permit for concealed.
I just want to I want to capitalize off of the like the wedding photography, wedding videography type market because I'm really good at that. That's what I was doing before COVID hit. But then everyone just canceled their weddings, and I'm like, wow, that messed up my bag. But yeah, once I get back into like a videographer mode, I do want to when I do move over there, I really do want to film some weddings. If there are any
Rafting?
in the comment section, hit me up because I make good.
Have you ever whitewater rafted?
Did he say water?
Whitewater.
I can't swim.
We'll have to teach you how to swim, brother. The video go out and they do whitewater rafting.
I cannot swim whatsoever. Like, just I have a huge fear of the water. I said I do like the beach, but I don't like getting in the water. I like the beach. I don't like
the sand.
Yeah, I like the sand and the women.
Right? Literally the beach, not the water. Literally the beach. Beach and bikini, right?
No, I don't get in the water for one main reason is that there are a lot of dead bodies being found. Yeah, my local beach, and I really don't want to get some of that dead body on my feet.
Step into somebody and be like, "What was that? Why does that feel like a hand I just stepped on?"
No, actually, there was a foot that was found in November 2021. It just washed up. They're like, oh, whose foot is this? And that was the day after I came back from that same beach, and I'm like, nope.
So, total true story, right? True story. I'm going to share a funny story, and I haven't shared it in a while. So, my aunt actually was in the Army in California, right? I'd say probably in the 60s. We'll go with that. Well, when she passed away, she wanted to be cremated, ashes spread in the Pacific Ocean. So, when that happened, I was the only family member in California, right? So, my other aunt, she should be on here, Connie. She said, your aunt wanted her ashes spread in the Pacific Ocean. Would you do that? I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem, right? I'm thinking no big deal. So I'm sitting there, and this is in probably 2002, maybe. Well, I get this box in the mail one day, and I don't know if you guys remember Columbia and BMG and Columbia House where you could order CDs and movies. Well, I get this box about the size of a box of movies or CDs, music CDs. And I thought, oh, hell yeah. So I ripped the box open, death certificate right on the top. And I'm like, oh, man, it's my aunt's ashes, right? So my aunt was sitting there, and she goes, what are you going to do? I said, well, I need to spread these ashes. So they sat on the table for like 2 months, right? So I finally go down. I go into Oceanside, and we go down the Strand in Oceanside, and I wade out up to probably about my waist, and I go to throw those ashes, the bag of ashes, out into the water. Ashes aren't ashes. It's like grains of large grains of sand. The wind blew that in my mouth.
Dang.
In my eyes. I was freaking out, screaming, dropped down the water. I'm trying to rinse my eyes out. I'm trying to rinse my mouth out. Oh my God. It's the most horrible thing in the world. Oops, there we go. Yeah, it was pretty traumatic. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's funny to look back and laugh now, but I'm telling you, when that happened, it freaked me the hell out because it was like grains of sand in my teeth. No.
That is, you basically consumed a little bit
yes.
part of your aunt.
Yeah, cannibalism, straight up cannibalism. But she always jokes and stuff, so everybody just kind of said that was her last joke, right? Like, let me make this guy freak out. Oh, I was freaking.
Got you.
We had to go straight to a liquor store and get some vodka so I could make sure my mouth was cleansed out. Yeah, and have a couple drinks. And yeah, that was pretty traumatic. So I said, it's funny as hell now, but it wasn't funny then.
Yeah, no. I tell my mom this a lot of times. I told her, you know, when I die, I don't want to be buried with a casket. Just like, you know, just dig like a 6-foot deep hole and just throw me in there.
Right.
Not because like I want to be edgy or something, but it's like there's really no need for a casket. I just want like my body to be fed to like the earth,
Mother
you know.
Earth.
Yeah, I just wanted to like I just want to give back, you know, like
Right.
Thank you for providing me life and
Cycle of
here's
life.
Yeah, but she always just gets mad at me for that. And I'm like, well then I hope you die first because I'm I'm gonna do that.
I want is so.
Yeah, I don't know if
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, I really don't know like the legal aspects to doing that. I believe like there are some I know there are some places where like for science for research purposes they do have like a place where they put the corpse out there and like watch them just what's it called?
Like decompose.
Yeah, watch them decompose, you know, just for research purposes. And
Right.
you know, if I had choice to do that, I would definitely go for that.
So I believe here, if I've been quoted correctly, if you bury somebody within 24 hours, no autopsies required, nothing's required. You can literally pine box it, put them in the ground within 24 hours. No embalming, no nothing. Body gets wrapped in a cloth, build a pine box, and throw it in the ground.
All right, I don't want to be talking about my death anymore. I'm too young. I'm too young.
Well, I'll tell you another funny one. So I got a buddy here that he kayaks a lot. And in front of his house is the Golly River. Well, on our part of the Golly, it's real slow and flat. So if you ever want to go kayaking, we'll take you kayaking. We'll throw a life jacket on you, and like you can literally see the bottom of the river, right? Well, he swears up and down he's gonna like have a Viking burial or a Viking ceremony. So they're gonna float him down on a kayak and like launch a fiery arrow with gasoline on it and like burn his body as it goes down the river, like total Viking style. Yeah, that's literally what he says.
Heard it.
Right?
Yeah. Well, all right. I can keep it right now. It's I'm gonna check the time.
You got 8. So it was 7:52, 8 o'clock.
It's a beer time.
There you go. Especially well, you're Friday evening, 8 p.m. right?
Huh?
8 p.m. right? Right.
Yeah, it's 7:52 p.m.
Well, man, I really appreciate
Gonna,
anytime you want to come. I mean, I'm on every night. I know you see that. Anytime you want to come on and chit chat. Fridays and Saturdays are probably better. I mean, get more people in here. Are you seeing 40 like I'm seeing 40?
I'm seeing 23, but
Yeah.
it's probably because 20. Wait, are you seeing 23 or are you seeing 40?
40.
All right, yeah, I'm seeing 23 because they're probably people that are my friends.
Yes, because I see names on here that I didn't know.
All right, sweet.
So I'd say the difference between 3 and 43 now is going to be mine. So I probably got 20 and you've got 23.
Yep, it'd be like that.
There you go.
Anyway,
Rocking it.
time to celebrate, I guess.
Well, brother, man, I definitely appreciate it. Have a good one. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm telling you, everybody here, everybody that I talk to, like it's almost like a local lore around here that you know the work you're doing. It really honestly is appreciated from the bottom of everybody's hearts because I think most of us, like in my group, we're all parents of kids and we understand the value of what you're doing. And I think we also can understand a little bit the toll that it takes on you mentally and physically. So
Yeah. Someone did. I see someone commented a while ago if I have kids. No, I don't have kids, but when I do move to West Virginia, I'm planning on having 12 children.
well,
So
you're gonna have
I
like
will have
farm hands, man.
definitely. I need them to feed my chickens and stuff.
There
You know.
And so you can have chickens in your backyard here. You don't have to worry about permits and none of that stuff. It's yeah, we're all good.
Always.
The land.
All right,
calls.
Gary.
Later, dude.
I'll be gonna get myself a drink.
All right, man. Be careful and enjoy.
Peace.
Later, dude. All right. Well, that was pretty cool. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Didn't expect that. I was actually gonna ask him a couple of times. I really was. I was like, hey man, we can check this out. So we might be doing I still show 41 people on. So that might be 41 plus his 23. So that may be like 64 people we had there. Totally unexpected, totally appreciated. And I always say, man, you guys never know what's gonna happen on one of my videos. And I hope somebody tonight was like, I don't feel like watching this video. And then I could be like, you should have jumped on and watched because you never know what's going to be on here. You never, ever, ever, ever know. So, yeah, it's pretty cool, though. It really is. And I definitely appreciate everything he does. And I tell you, that's has anybody ever seen that video? And you can put this, to me, conceptually, you can put this concept into place. Have you ever seen the video where it's the empath? It's a little cartoon guy, and he walks over, and like the child's having a bad day, and he hugs him, and absorbs the bad out of him. And then he goes, and somewhere else, somebody's having a bad time, and he's holding their hands, and more of the bad energy comes out. And then he goes, and somebody's going to jump off of a bridge and kill themselves, and he hugs them, and all of it comes out. Then he goes home slumped. Has anybody seen that little meme slash video? I'll try to find it and share it. It's about empaths is what it is. But has anybody seen that? Let's drink on my water. Need some agua, some water. Anybody? Well, it's representative of, okay, so karma has. It's representative of the energy that this person is pulling out of the other folks. And then every time he pulls that negative energy out, they all run off happy. And he actually fills up with this negative energy, and he's slumping and going down. And then he goes home, and I think his dog's there, and he needs one, and he starts petting the dog, and the energy comes back. You know, the bad energy goes away. So that's how I view somebody like that. Okay, for the folks who've seen it, do you guys agree? I mean, I think that's how I view somebody like him, is they work all day, every day, taking this bad out of the world and absorbing it into themselves and process that. And like I think Brandon or somebody said earlier, his eyes process constant negativity, right? And I couldn't imagine the long-term impact of that. I mean, it would be easy to slip into depression. It would be easy to withdraw from society, to say, look at all the ugliness. I don't want to be involved in that. I mean, that's just my opinion. I think it'd be easy to do that. I really do. But I'll try to find it and share it. I don't know what the heck it's called. If any of you guys know where it is, share it on my page and I'll share it out. But that's kind of representative of what I think Olive goes through. It really is. Just a lifelong, just, absorption of just the bad of society. It really is. So he was talking about relocating to the great state of West Virginia. I didn't know if that's something he wanted to discuss, but he said when I moved there, so he kind of talked about that. Great guy. I wondered his age. I kind of assumed somewhere late 20s or 30. I didn't think he's above 30 years old, but I really figured that you can hear the maturity. He looks young, but you can hear the maturity in his voice and his thought patterns. So hell of a good guy. Definitely. What's the word I want to use? Honored to have him as a friend, a personal friend, and we have some side conversations quite often. And it's just it's cool to hear firsthand behind the scenes, if that makes sense. And folks, that link he shared, to my knowledge, that's his sole source of income. There goes Pat. That's his sole source of income. Yeah, he said he's 28. Buy a sticker, buy a hoodie. I think it's stickers, hoodies, and shirts. I think is what it is. And his whole thing is called Operation Juice Box. He shared it on here. You think about it. If you're buying a hoodie for $28, he's probably making $8 or $10 off of it. Stickers, I think, are $4 or $5. He's probably making $2 or $3 off of them. And you got bills to pay. He's got an internet bill. He's got a cell phone bill. He's got to eat. You know what I'm saying? He's got to buy clothes. He's got to pay for these cell phone accounts. You know, I'm sure, I don't know 100%, but I'm sure this is probably like a grassroots type of initiative. And you guys heard him say, I know there were several folks on here. I think Schaefer was on here, and somebody else I think was on here. I'm not 100% sure. Why does that keep going off? Because I'm shutting my keys off. There we go. But if you guys are on here and you want to friend him and let him know who you are, that gives him resources and a personal connection and probably a comfortability with what he does. Oh, Lord. So, yeah, now that it's 11 o'clock on a Friday night, tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. is, we'll go through the community events calendar, right? Tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. is a pancake dinner at the Birch River Firehouse. I'll be there at 7:30. I'm going to help serve. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. at Dizzy Dames is the community cleanup initiative. Yes, gas. Absolutely. I mean, there's just a lot of aspects. But at Dizzy Dames, if you meet down there at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, there is a cleanup. Are you doing a cleanup? Yes, I will be serving pancakes till 9:30 in Birch River, and I'll shoot back up. Hopefully there at 9:15, 9:30. That'll put me back up here at 10:15. So might be a few minutes late, but I'll be back up here. Tonight was the live nativity drama at Little Union Church. That's up on my page. If you guys want to watch it, it was amazing. Next Tuesday is so next Monday is the Republican convention meeting in Summersville. Tuesday is the meet the candidates night where it'd be county level, so I'll be there talking. Next Wednesday is commission meeting. Thursday is something. Friday is something. There's just a lot of stuff happening right now with my campaign. So, but that was a nice little a little surprise when he said, "Do you mind if I jump on your live?" I was like, "I think he means like literally jump on." So that'd be cool. And I thought that worked out really well. And then I thought he was just going to say, "Hey, do you mind if I get on here and start like type talking?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." That's why I kind of got quiet for a second. Then I seen the invite come through, and I was like, "Well, hell yeah, pretty cool." Yes. Yeah. 'Tis the season to be busy. Plus, next week I got to start cutting grass. It's supposed to rain on Monday, and then I think snow on freaking Tuesday. Yes, Easter egg hunt tomorrow at noon. I knew there was something I was forgetting. I knew there was 3 things. So there's a pancake dinner at 8 a.m. Birch River Fire Department. The community cleanup between the Craigsville intersection, hopefully, and the county line at 10 a.m. at Dizzy Dames. And Indian Rocks Park will have an Easter egg hunt, and they have 3,000 eggs. Is that right, Ada? Oh, excuse me. 3,000 eggs. Yeah, which is a ton. And hey, how many people notice I shaved my beard? Can you guys tell? I think it looks a lot better. Going more for that Amish look and not the Santa Claus look. I think it's got a cleaner look through here. I really do. You don't have the scragglies coming down. Yeah, it's a lot of eggs. That's a friggin' ton. Literally. So I want to thank Ada for and the rest of the team for that. Thank you, Benny. I want to thank Ada and him for stuffing 700 million eggs. Yeah, them chickens were probably pissed. Stole my eggs. Fluorescent white. That's because it's healthy. It's healthy. Thank you. Yeah, it kind of was starting to come down and then go down and over and up and back out. So thank you. Definitely appreciate it. That's why I'm going for that professional look. I really am. So Monday night, you guys will get to see me in like kind of in the picture that I posted in the suit jacket and stuff. So I'm super nervous. Not gonna lie, I'm super nervous about getting up and speaking. I've got a speech that I've been practicing on. Got to get that down to 2 minutes. I was at 2 minutes and 3 seconds. And I also got a couple other initiatives I'm working on. You know, of course, you don't tip your hand all the way down. I mean, everybody knows it's a meet the candidates, and everybody knows you have to have a speech to say. So you have an intro. You have a 2 minute intro. and then we'll have a question session. You have 1 minute for each question, and then you have 2 minutes to give your closing statements. Typically, a closing statement is more, when I say ad hoc, typically your closing statements are ad hoc based on what went on during the question session, in addition to your closing points. I'm pro guns, I'm pro law enforcement, I'm pro teachers, I'm absolutely 100% supportive of our kids getting back in school business. You have those things you say, and then you say, once again, I'd like to ask for your support in my run for County Commission, Nicholas County. I feel that I'm the best candidate at hand because I wouldn't ask you to vote for second best. Yada 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 yada. Hey Sam, yeah, we had Olive Hugh on here. He was on here for probably 45 minutes or so, maybe an hour.
Oh yeah, every bit of it.
So this I won't delete this video because there's nothing that's get me in trouble later on. I didn't cuss a bunch of stuff. Yeah, the state one is on, and the county one will be too. So there's a Meet the Candidate next Tuesday in Richwood. Tuesday in Summersville, Sunday in Richwood, then the following Tuesday in Levacy. There's 3 of them right there in a row. So Summersville, Tuesday night, 6 to 8 p.m. Richwood, Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m. And then Levacy, Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. or 7 to 8 p.m. I'll have to work on that one. Yeah, he's done an awesome job. He come on here just kind of chilling and chit-chatting and talking, and he brought a level of notoriety to our work here. Well, folks, Noah is bugging the hell out of me and pointing over to you, Save, and pointing at his mouth. So he's wanting a quick snack. I'm going to pull over and grab him something, head to the house, and get to bed so I can get up and be in Birch River at 7:30 in the morning. So you guys hold on a second. I'm going to tell Tommy. Love you, Tommy. All right.
I'm sure you heard me laugh when he said about that Arizona.
Yeah. I knew what you was talking about. Yeah. So I'm going to run him over there, and we'll holler at you tomorrow, brother. I'm going to stay up on the live for a little bit, but I'll be on here for a couple more minutes.
Okay.
See you, bub.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to run Noah over here and let him get him something real quick so he don't go and keep pointing like a baby bird. And then I'll chit-chat till we get to the house. Quiet out in town tonight, which is it's always a good thing in my mind that it's quiet. He's going to run here and grab him something real fast. No, I don't think I'm listening. Here. And since I still got 20-some people in here, folks, I definitely would appreciate your all support in your vote. Like I said, you guys know what I'm all about. You know what I can do. It's going to be even better when I'm actually paid to do that, or that's part of my responsibilities, not necessarily paid directly to do that, where it's part of my responsibilities. You just know. I'm going to show you guys something here, just because I want you guys to fully understand, but I don't want to tip my hand completely. Right there's my newspaper bill I paid today for ads. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. $896.18, and I've already paid $242.26. So that's about almost $1,200 just in newspaper ads. It goes quick. I got some really cool stuff coming out. You guys keep an eye on the paper. And I've got a couple other things as they are done. I'm going to let you guys know. Of course, I'm not going to tip my hand because I don't want my competition knowing what I'm doing. Yeah. Newspaper ads are not expensive. To run a quarter page newspaper ad is black and white is $126.13, $121.13. Quarter page black and white ad, $121.13 a week. Quarter page color ad is $196.13 a week. So it's not cheap. Keep an eye on the newspapers. If you guys, Ada, I don't know if she's still in here. Rhonda, if you guys have a paper for this week, I would definitely like it when you guys are done with it. I need to just go in here and buy one, but I'm too lazy to get out of the truck right now. So, and guys, so Rhonda said, since we didn't get to go to bingo tonight, she said, Gary, I bought a couple of lottery tickets. I want you guys to look at the size of this damn lottery ticket. Like, what in the hell and heck is this? Did you say thank you? Okay. What is this? Is that a freaking lottery ticket or what? That's what's left out of $10? Come on. Come on, bud. Look here what I get out of $10. Noah goes in, I get 22 cents back. What the hell, dude? Would you buy some gold bars in there? Buy some lottery tickets? Oh, no. Thank you. But look at that lottery ticket. Like, look how big it is compared to my head. My head's huge.
God.
That's a freaking lottery ticket. I don't know if I'm even smart enough to do this.
Is Rhonda on here?
Probably.
Rhonda.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Live and direct, folks.
Woo!
Boom. Live and direct. Live and direct. Never a good thing. Good thing that they're local. Hell yeah, that's a big ass lottery ticket.
Rhonda,
There
I have
she
a
is.
gift for you.
Uh-oh, what you got? What would you do for a crunch bar?
She loves these, everybody.
Oops.
Crunch.
She said that's what you get for talking trash.
Crackle.
You dropped your candy bar. Sit there and grab it. It's in front of that box.
She let her demons out. Why would you do that, Rhonda?
Uh,
Help me, Rhonda. Help me, Rhonda.
Careful, you're sitting on your chips, dude. Got it?
Yummy, yummy, yummy. Mmm. I'm about to devour this.
And he said, love you, Noah.
Love you, Patty.
All right, let's get that back around there. All right. So, crushed candy bar and chips, yeah. Well, no, the candy bar is broke, but not crushed, right? But yeah, so nice little treat there this evening. I enjoyed that. I really did. So the hard part about, and I didn't want it to be, I want it to be a chit chat session, not an interview. The part that makes that kind of hard is, I have questions I want to know. Like, I don't know these things. So, and then I also know that there's certain things that he can't say and don't want to say. Yeah, I thought it was. Where's Brandon at? Brandon still in here? I thought it was interesting. I will go back and change the name. It'll say like Olive Hugh guest appearance or something like that. So people will watch. Yes, I did. 100% did, Brenda. 100%. I knew it had to be high because it was $3 and something when I lived there in 19 years ago. See about that. That was back in the day. Back in the day. Back in the day when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. Sometimes I sat and wish I was a kid again. Back in the day when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. Boop. But yeah, folks, I'm not gonna lie. That's why I said, like, with the schedule getting busy, night times are a little easier because I can't go knocking on doors. I can't cut grass. But tomorrow's a busy day. Sunday is kind of going to be a day of rest. And I'm not going to lie, if Sunday just didn't happen to be Easter Sunday, I would probably be out cutting grass. I cut grass 7 days a week. I really do. It doesn't bother me a bit. I don't mean it disrespectfully, but here's the way I look at it. Lord said, go forth and prosper. And I think it would make me a much better man to make sure that I'm out providing for my family than to step back. And what was it? There's something about stuck when the oxen is stuck. Yeah, back in the day. It's actually a song. I don't know if any of you guys know that song. But, yeah. So it's going to be busy. And I mean smoking hot busy until May 10th. Actually, May 11th. Because on May 11th, I'm hoping I can get some of y'all to help me go get signs and pick them up. Like one person go, from Allendale to Summersville. One person go from Craigsville into Richwood and then across the mountain into Nettie or something like that. Then one person go Summersville to Canvas. One person go through Mount Nebo. And one person go down 39 and come back up 129. So 5 or 6 people could actually help me, and we could get them all done in just a little over an hour. Picking them up is way easier than putting them down. Let's pick them up. You just drive till you see one, pick it up. Drive till you see one, and then pick it up. No, today was a VA hospital day, Joey. Today was a VA hospital day. I'll tell you guys something. I went down there, and my blood pressure was like 215 over like 177. Not even gonna lie. It really honestly was. It really was. The lady looks at it. So she hears it pumping. And she hears the blood pressure machine pumping for a long time, which means that first number is going to be high, right? And I see her look at it real funny, and she looks at it, looks at me, looks back at it, and she says, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah." She takes it off, puts it back on, and it goes super high again, right? Then, at that point, we're at like 205, 208, right? Top number. So she takes it off, puts it on the other arm. Gets pretty much the same reading, right? She wasn't getting an erroneous reading. But I'm sitting there chilling, right? So she looks at me again and she goes, "Is everything okay?" And I said, "Yeah." And I said, "I get stressed out when I come into the doctor, right?" I said, "I'm not doctor friendly. That's not my thing." And so she has me to calm down. And we're talking and we're talking and we're talking. And she lifts my arm up and she says, "Relax your arm." Right? Relax your arm means let me bear the weight of your arm. I realized that today because I said it's relaxed. And she said, "No." She said, "No, you're not relaxed." I said, "Yes, I am." And she said, "You're still bearing the weight of your arm." So then it come down to 196 over, some ungodly number. And there's that $97 alarm just kicked on. Boom, 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 boom. Give me $97 in gas, please. So finally, we go through some stuff. We talk about some issues that I want to talk to him about. And after it's all said and done, I was down to 196 over 103 or something like that. No, 177. 177 over like 98 or something. I don't know. It was still high. That's why I said it'll come on down. Now my blood pressure always runs high, but it's never been that high. I mean, to the point that she looked at me with some concern. So went up, got some immediate chest x-rays. They started looking and listening, and blood, urine, all that stuff. So yeah, hopefully Gary sees Saturday. Hopefully I'll see tomorrow. I have no idea. I go to the doctor about once every 2 or 3 years, so I wouldn't know a large cuff from a small cuff, and that's not being smart. I literally don't know. They're always amazed that I'm on 0 medications, and I told her, I said, she talked to me about blood pressure medication. I said, "I'm not going to take medication." And she said, "What?" I said, "I'm not going to take blood pressure medication." I said, "That just means I need to get off my fat ass and get out and get some exercise, lose some of this weight, and watch my diet better." You guys hear me munching on these chips and stuff late at night. I know that's not healthy for me. So that's just validation of it. I told her, I said, "I'll drop probably 20 to 25 pounds. I'll drop 20 to 25 pounds in the first probably month and a half of cutting grass." Oh, I just don't know, Brenda. If I knew, I would answer it. I honestly don't know. It seemed long, if that's what you mean. It seemed long, like longer than like the one I have at the house. Renal kidney. Oh yeah. So I probably have renal kidney failure kicking in. Not being smart. But no, like when I go in, I get stressed. I'll tell you guys, I'll be honest with y'all. Y'all my friends. If you use this against me, then I just won't talk to you anymore. I tell you honestly, anytime I go to the doctor, that's a very stressful thing for me, right? So that always puts my blood pressure up. Plus, I jump on the scales, right? I now weigh more than I've ever weighed in my life. So that hits me twofold. One, it's been affecting my breath because I'm too fat. Two, it's affecting my clothes and my ankles and my knees and all that stuff because I'm too fat. And three, I know the toll that's going to take on me, that extra weight, when I get out here and I start cutting grass, right? That's just the facts, right? So I know that literally put me in almost a probably like a semi-mild panic attack. I'm not even going to lie. Now, what she did note is that my blood pressure was crazy high, but my heart rate was very normal. She said, "Gary, your heart rate's normal." My anxiety is up, but I'm not angry or mad, or I haven't walked 17 flights of stairs to raise my heart rate. So, but I told her, I said, 50 years old, I'm on nothing. I'm on absolutely nothing other than Doritos, Cheetos, and Pepsi. Well, wherever that law enforcement officer went is nowhere in the round regular path, so we're going to back it out and go to the house. So hopefully everything is copacetic. Anybody that has a scanner? Anybody got a scanner? I'm not above asking. Oh Lord, there are people outside the church. In the world? People outside the church at 11:21, and they don't look like suspicious type people. Blue bag? Hell no, no blue bag. I'm gonna eat blue Doritos with potted meat. They probably had to run it not on the radio. It was out Woodbine, so they've either went Shindell or further than I'm gonna go. I'm on Woodbine. Well, the thing I've learned about the scanner app, the one that I had before, is it's very intensive on my battery. Very intensive on my battery. And the one I had, I think it was called 5.0 Radio. I could only hear half the conversation. Locust Grove. Good chips. Now the hell I wouldn't potted meat and blue Doritos. You might as well put a Vienna sausage on there. Little.
Stop.
Yeah. Little puppy. I get it. I mean, because I definitely, if I was working in law enforcement, I would not want my element of surprise taken away from me. So I get that. It's just somebody told me that, oh, Gary, you just get downloading the wrong app. Downloading the wrong app. So I have some folks on that aren't normally on. I want to say hello. I'd say the topic of the video, if you guys are just jumping on, we had talked about child predators in our area. And if you guys have heard of Olive Hugh, he came on for probably, 35, 45 minutes, maybe an hour, and chit-chatted and talked and gave some insight, talked about some numbers and things. It's a very interesting video. I'd say back up and watch it. I really would. They looked like good church people, Joey. I mean, honestly, and I'm not being sarcastic, that were actually out there. I have no idea why. Maybe somebody saw something and they're looking for them or something. I don't know. I didn't see any pretty lights. It's awful late though. 11:24. Sunrise service. Is that tomorrow morning or Sunday? When's sunrise service? Sunday, right? Yeah, Sunday. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday. We had a great presentation put on at Little Union Church. It's on my video here, on my live. I'll tell you, let me tell y'all something. Like, a couple weeks ago, I had a little quandary in my mind, and you guys remember it, and I thought, and everybody's like, oh, just say it. Well, that shit got twisted around on me. It got twisted around on me. So now my positively intended video got twisted around on me. So I'm going to tell you tonight, I almost had a little guilt in going live and sharing what was happening tonight. I almost had a little bit of guilt on that one. With that crucifixion. Not going to lie. Oh, no, buddy. Good. I just appreciate that. I almost had a little bit of guilt on that. Sometimes my videos, I have second thoughts on them. I'm like, well, maybe I should. Maybe I shouldn't. So, sometimes it's not easy or simple to just throw a phone up there. And the reason I say I had a little bit of guilt is I didn't want in any way, shape, or form appear to be disrespectful, appear to have to have any ill intent for anything like that. And I kind of almost felt like that maybe it was a tad bit disrespectful, but I told myself, I know not everybody can be here due to time constraints, due to physical abilities, due to maybe lack of driving, due to lack of knowledge that even happened. So I said, I can capture this on live and share that out, and people can watch it later on that physically couldn't be there. But I didn't want it to serve any level of disrespect or anything even remotely perceived as close to even in that arena, if that makes sense. And I'll tell you guys, I moved all the way out and said at the end, and at first I was just filming what I could see, and I seen people standing up and filming, and that's when you guys could tell that I stood up. I just didn't want to be anywhat disrespectful to what was being presented to me. That is not, no. I didn't think it was. And then when they started doing the prayers at the end, that's why I dropped my phone down to the grass and I finally ended it. Oh, gosh. Look here. What in the hell? What in the world? Turn the light off. Got somebody over here flashing me with a light. Let's kick him with the, let's scare him with mine. What are they doing there? Look here. Now they're going to try to figure out what's going on. Watch him. See him? See him? It's kids, ain't it?
Yeah.
You guys see him? See if they turn back on. Scare him. That wasn't my intent. Hello! You guys have a good evening. What do they say? You probably know them, don't you? Don't say their names. No, they're standing right there. I think it scared them. They shut their light off. Kids probably 12, 15, 14, 13. But at first I thought it was somebody flagging me. I could tell it was multiple people. No, I don't know them. I could tell it was multiple people, and I thought maybe they were trying to flag me down because somebody was hurt. First, I really thought it was probably somebody that shouldn't be in that area. I'm not even allowing that. Like somebody that shouldn't be there. And then I kind of thought it was somebody wanting help. So, yeah. You just never know anymore. Never know. Never know. That was kids, though. All right, folks. Well, I'm going up here and hit the rack. Like I said, remember there is a pancake breakfast tomorrow at 8 a.m. And I'm going in and hit the bed. So I guarantee you by 11, it's 11:30. By 11:35, I will be asleep. So if you're messaging or doing anything, it won't get answered until probably tomorrow evening. Nothing mean. I gotta look pretty tomorrow and do my thing and make sure my eyebrows are all combed down. You guys have a good night. I appreciate y'all jumping on and joining in. And I hope y'all enjoyed this evening's video as much as I did. Bless you, Noah. I hope y'all enjoyed this evening's video as much as I did. All right? I'm sure we'll have a lot of views. Good night.